Today we're going to talk about some lifts you guys probably aren't using, but that could help put a ton of size on your body. I know we all have short attention spans, so let's dive right in, baby. So lift number one is a good one. It's also a really tough lift. This is going to target the upper chest, the upper pecs, and the triceps really heavy. What we're talking about is a reverse grip incline press. So when we're setting up for a reverse grip press, your grip's going to be a little bit wider than normal. Otherwise, it's going to be very uncomfortable to unrack the bar on the wrists. Now I want you to just think about a normal bench with your arms out slightly wide. Now turn your hands to a reverse grip and look what happens to your elbows. Your elbows are naturally going to track much closer to the torso at a much narrower angle. That's going to put a huge stretch on the upper pecs. Now with a reverse grip, the demand on the triceps is also much greater. All right, to extend the elbow from this position, it's a much deeper stretch on the triceps and a lot more action going on with the triceps. So you're not going to be nearly as strong with a reverse grip as you would be with a normal press. So use caution with the reverse grip, start light. A Smith machine works really well for these, better control, but the barbell is just as good. It's a brutal lift. Next, we're going to target the quads, the upper back, and the entire trunk. And we're going to do that with the Zercher squat. Now this is one I don't see a ton of people doing, and that's either because they've never heard of it before or just because it's fucking hard. All right, so to perform a Zercher squat, we're gonna step up to the bar. I'm gonna put it right in the crook of my arms. I'm gonna unrack, holding the bar nice and close to my torso. Step back. My stance is a little bit wider than a normal squat, and I'm gonna squat down. When you perform a Zercher squat with the weight right in the crook of your arms, the weight is directly over the quads, which is awesome for the quads. But with the weight held out in front of you, you also have to stop yourself from getting pulled forward and from allowing your shoulders to round forward. So you're isometrically training the shit out of your upper back and your entire trunk holding posture. So the Zercher squat checks a lot of boxes off. It's a badass lift. It can put a ton of muscle on your body. So with our next lift, we're gonna target the quads, but also the back and pretty much the entire body, because we're hitting snatch grip deadlifts. All right, so snatch grip just means our hands are gonna be out wide. And what that wide grip is gonna do is where a normal deadlift is here, it's gonna set us much lower to the ground. You can see the difference in knee and hip flexion. As I go wider, I'm pulled closer to the ground. So the snatch grip deadlift is gonna be more quad dominant, but also with my hands out wide, it's gonna really force my lats and my traps to work a lot harder to keep the bar nice and close to my body and to maintain my posture. So we're setting up just like a normal deadlift, bar nice and close to the shins. So the snatch grip deadlift is a badass lift. It's putting you in a tough position to pull from, really forcing the lats and the traps to get engaged and the quads from getting pulled deeper down. Very good lift, very functional, high impact lift to add to your training. So the next lift is one I really don't see too often in gyms at all, and it's a barbell step up. If I had to say like what are the most underrated exercises in the gym, step ups would be really high on that list. A barbell step up just has so much strength and athletic carryover. It's such a neglected lift. Problem is, even when people do it, they're usually kind of doing it wrong. Their form is really poor. So what people tend to do with step ups is when they're about to step up, they push off the back leg, and that's their step up. So most of the momentum's coming from the back leg, not the top leg. What we want in a step up is we want this top leg to pull you up onto the box. So I leave the back leg soft, slightly bent, and I pull up with the top leg. Mistake number two is on the way down, people let themselves just drop. You can absolutely have an eccentric component to a step up, which is a big part of building muscle with the lift. So on the way down, I just want to control it just enough to slow myself down. So with step ups, we're always going to start with body weight first to make sure our form is good. And then we'll progress to using dumbbells. And lastly, the most advanced way to perform it is going to be with a barbell. A little bonus tip here, remember we did Zerchers earlier. You could do Zercher step-ups and place the weight directly over the quads. Barbell step-ups, definitely a big boy move. So for our last lift today, we're gonna target the back. And we're gonna do it with trap bar rows. Now there's a few reasons why I love trap bar rows versus barbell or other row variations. It's not that they're necessarily better, they're just different in a lot of ways to me that are good. Number one, the weight is centered right over the midline of my body. So versus pulling from out in front of me, which puts more strain on the low back, trap bar rows put me in a nice neutral position. Number two, I like the grip, the nice narrow grip that's gonna track my arms nice and close to the body, which is gonna get a lot of lat action going. You can see I'm performing these as a pendlay variation, with a dead stop on the floor each rep. With a pendlay variation on the trap bar especially, I can pull from that good neutral position from a dead stop on the floor, which lends itself really well to strength and power off the floor. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm still a pretty small channel, so subscribing helps me out a lot. Hit that subscribe button and the bell, drop a like and a comment for your boy. See you guys next time. Keep training hard.